China's rubber-stamping parliamentary body has unanimously barred 1 abstention and 2 sustained and loud applause, approved new laws, ensuring that only people it deems patriots can govern Hong Kong, in a move critics say signals the end of the city's remaining autonomy. The final meeting of the National People's Congress (NPC) at the annual 2 sessions political gathering also approved new domestic amendments and budgets, and the 14th five-year plan, intended to strengthen and expand China's domestic technology industry and market, and reach new GDP and population targets amid economic uncertainty and declining birth rates. In a formal vote, the almost 3,000 NPC delegates approved a decision to amend Hong Kong's mini-constitution, the basic law, and the electoral system to ensure that people opposed to the Chinese Communist Party and its rule over Hong Kong are ineligible to sit in the city's parliament. The UK's Foreign Minister, Dominic Raab, was quick to criticize the move. This is the latest step by Beijing to hollow out the space for democratic debate in Hong Kong, contrary to the promises made by China itself, he said. This can only further undermine confidence and trust in China, living up to its international responsibilities and legal obligations as a leading member of the international community. According to Chinese state media, the decision will increase the number of seats in Hong Kong's legislature from 70 to 90. The changes will also establish a vetting panel responsible for reviewing and confirming the qualifications of committee and political candidates. In line with the national security law and basic law, early media reports cited unnamed sources as saying the panel would be made up of some of the most pro-Beijing members of Hong Kong's political elite, including delegates to the NPC and the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference (CPPCC). The meeting made the decision to approve the electoral system in Hong Kong and won the approval from all deputies, including those from Hong Kong, said the chair of the NPC Standing Committee, Li Zhanshu. The decision will now go to the Standing Committee for further processing before it is promulgated. In the past year, new laws and regulations in Hong Kong, including a draconian national security law and a concerted campaign of protest-related prosecutions, have resulted in almost every significant voice of opposition being in jail, on trial, or in exile overseas. The changes have drawn international condemnation. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken told Congress on Wednesday that the Biden administration would follow through on sanctions against those responsible for committing repressive acts in Hong Kong. The U.S. and other countries have repeatedly objected to the crackdown with little effect. Hong Kong's government has welcomed the Beijing crackdown, including Thursday's changes, but has indicated it wasn't involved in the NPC's design of the details. Chief Executive Carrie Lam said her government would amend Hong Kong law as in line with the new decision over the next 12 months. She denied it was a backward step for democracy, but instead closed loopholes allowing unpatriotic people to harm Hong Kong with anti-Beijing and pro-independence moves. She dismissed all suggestions that the changes would reduce government accountability through opposition. I truly believe that when this is done, we will be able to effectively resolve the problems we face in Hong Kong. That is, everything being politicized and the difficult situation it has been placed in. After the NPC vote, an editorial in the state mouthpiece, Xinhua, praised the approval and said in some sense, Beijing had no choice. Anti-China, destabilizing forces and radical localists in Hong Kong have manipulated the electoral system to enter the governance structure, pushed for their secessionist agenda, repeatedly challenged the central government's authority, it said, adding that reckless foreign intervention also warranted the change. Hostile forces overseas have intensified their efforts to stoke color revolutions in the Chinese city, seeking to turn it into an outpost to contain China's development, it said. No central government would tolerate such chaos or ignore outside disruptors running amok on its soil. Speaking to press after the sessions, the Premier, Li Keqiang, praised the passage of the decision and the approval of China's 14th five-year plan, which included GDP growth targets of above 6% and a focus on boosting China's tech industry. We are keenly aware of the uncertainty around the economic rebound in China, as well as global economic growth and development, Li said of the GDP target, which is below many analysts' predictions. It's not a low target, he said. 6% means generating an output of 6 trillion yuan. An earlier draft of the five-year plan included increases to research and development spending and major breakthroughs. In core technologies including medical equipment, core components and basic materials, a sign of Beijing, its growing competitiveness with the US and Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing. We must reject any urge for quick success and take solid measures with one step at a time. Li said the government would solidify the foundations of basic research, including by offering 100% tax deductions on R&D costs for manufacturers. Ahead of a high-level bilateral meeting in Alaska next week, Li also urged improved relations with the US, but signaled China had no intention of conceding to criticisms of its actions in Xinjiang, Hong Kong, and towards Taiwan. We hope the two sides will respect the core interests and major concerns, refrain from interfering in each other's internal affairs, and keep in the principle of no conflict, no confrontation, mutual respect, and win-win cooperation.